So I have this car, and I want to use this and these as easy as possible. I also have one of these. So I bought all of this. This should look familiar because this is designed for that. I bought all of this to try to install these on this. After reading a bunch of forums, I know that there is maybe some trickery and maybe some trimming, so I decided to make a video and bring you all along and see what we actually need to do to install this on there without messing anything up. I bought these in low rubber blocks, hoping that this would help me get to this, but this channel isn't very deep, and I can either take a grinder and burn through the rubber, which would smell disgusting, or use one of these. So I went on Amazon, this for like $15, and I ordered this. Nice to have around anyway. I'm going to try, the car too low for me to get my head under there. My head's too fat and ridiculous to get underneath that car. So I'm going to try to use this to lift one side just so I can gain access and see how much trimming and to the front or the rear is required for this. I'll run some measurements. Maybe that will help you out if you're using a lift system like I am. Just for clarification, I think this is a 7000 XL. Yep, right there. 7000 XL, what I bought for the Camaro, and it seemed to be the same platform. So it seemed to be good. I'll run some measurements at the end. If you need those, stand by. Okay, figured this out. Here's where we're at so far. I used one of the rubber blocks. They actually came in handy to jack. You can't see it. There's a metal arm that braced right to the frame here. I feel confident in jacking against that. I just need to get it up high enough so I can put my head under here. I know, it's unsafe. Right here, so there's a pocket where you can jack from. So we're right underneath, right behind the front tire, right underneath the car. You can see a pocket right here, but this part right here is plastic. I'll get a light and shine it on. So when you go to put this in, it's gonna hit on this plastic piece right here. So what you're gonna have to do and get a razor blade of some sort or something in here and trim that plastic back, so then your brace can actually sit up there and sit on the subframe like it's supposed to. I'll get a light. Hopefully this helps. So you can see this flexing right here. Where my fingers are, all this is plastic. So you have this nice little cutout with a piece of plastic in here. I'm gonna have to cut back and trim some of that out wherever this is gonna sit. So then it can sit here up against the actual subframe and not sitting on that plastic. So I'm going to put mine, I don't want it sitting on this brace, so I'm going to put mine back far as I can. So I'm actually going to put it right there. And yep, just off of feeling and past that brace. So that's where I'm going to put mine. I'm going to trim that piece out, hopefully with a sharp razor blade. I'll update you. Okay, it wasn't bad at all. I just used a razor blade. It took a couple passes, not the cleanest cut in the world. Made in the USA, look at that. Rocker panel. So this is what it looks like now underneath with that section gone. So I didn't cut out the whole pocket because I don't need it. You can if you want it to look a little better, I guess. But that's what it looks like now. So now this fits all up in there snug up against the subframe. So now I already put Loctite in there. I'm just gonna attach this and tighten it down. I know I'm not the best angle. I don't like the jack being under there, so I'm not putting my head underneath the car. Let me get this on, then I can use this to jack and then hopefully give you a better angle on the back one. All right, let's take a look at some things. So I got the front one installed. You can see it in between there maybe. It's in there, trust me, it's in there. So now I have a jack stand, not the best place, but I'll cry if it falls, but I won't die, so it's fine. It's sitting right in between here where the pinch weld is. So definitely jack up the pinch weld if that jack failed, but I won't die. Okay, so let's look at why this didn't work, or why I didn't use it, and where I jacked off of the first time. So I went right off of, this brace piece. It's sitting against the subframe, and that I felt confident jacking off of that. I just didn't want to crumple any of this, so I used this rubber. It definitely cut into it pretty good. But why I didn't use this is because even bypassing the plastic, it sits too high. The jack wasn't going to hit the rocker panels. This doesn't work on this car. So this isn't just a DEDC off of Amazon. It's not long enough to work off of this, and it didn't sit on the subframe. That rubber and magnets were still sitting on the pinch weld. So that's why I didn't use that. I got it done just by jacking off of this and using a rubber block so I didn't hurt or damage anything. Now with that out of the way, let's see if we can see this better. So this is what I'm dealing with. Here's the pinch weld where I want to mount it. Here's the plastic that you have to cut away. And here's the subframe that you actually want to make contact with. So that's what we're doing. We're going to cut. I'm going to go far to the front on this one. Well, no, because this is in the way, tightening the bolts. I'm probably going to go far to the rear. So I'm just going to make a slit, come down about 3/4 of the way, make another slit, and then break it out of there. So here we go. So because I can actually get my head under here and look, this one went a lot easier. It's not too tough of plastic. I cut this one in one pass on every cut. It's hanging on just a little bit right there. Ooh, don't fall in. Oh, damn it. Well, now I got to try to fish that out. So, yeah, wish me luck on that. Okay, first of all, don't be an idiot and let that fall in there, because it's a pain and painful. I just smacked the rocker panel and the hanger to get it to slide back, and eventually it worked its way back here. Now it's out there. Won't have that rattling around, and this is what it looks like without that piece in there. Yay! So then, once again, I'm gonna put this right here. I'm gonna slide it all the way back so I can get to the grub screws easiest. This one's gonna be a pain regardless. This one looks like it'll take a socket. So, yeah. I'm going to get these on and get them mounted there, and then we'll have one side done. Okay, update. This one, with this being here, kind of a pain. I did get a little 1/4" drive ratchet wrench socket in there just to get it snug down, and then I put an Allen in the front one to get it tight, and then I had to do this one with an Allen the whole way, 1/4 turn at a time. It's an absolute pain, but it's doable. So that's what it looks like. I won't bore you guys with the other side. Let me drop this, and then I'll run a tape and give you the measurement that I get from where I put mine. Okay, so with the front one to the back of that cup and the back one to the back of that cup, it's right center to center and right around 60 inches. So I also don't have like any of the carbon fiber ground effects kit or anything on that car. Didn't get that. So this is just the rocker panel that come on the CT4-V Blackwing. And then let's go over with 60 inches in mine. Let's go over and look. So if I put, these take the lifting blocks, right? So if I put the lifting block all the way at the back, which is about center, and then go up to the front, 60 inch in center of that lifting block, you still have a couple inches of room for a little bit of, moving left, front, and back. So it looks like it's gonna work. That's what I did. If you have a better idea, please don't keep it to yourself. Throw it in the comments. I did this video just to try to be helpful. If you can do it better, please link your video in the comment. I'll pin it. Link your video in the comments, or whatever. The only thing I've seen online for this, and just like Reddit threads or some forum posts and stuff like that. So I figured that I'd make a video and try to see if I could do it to this car, the wife's car, so then I can use these lifts. Yeah, spoiler alert, why I'm doing all this is because that's coming next. All right, thanks everyone, appreciate it. I'd appreciate a like, maybe even a subscribe. Stay tuned for yeah, the exhaust next for this car.